good day to you all. Welcome back to Let Joe Talk. As you can tell, I finally got a haircut. Not the best haircut I ever had in the world, but with my birthday coming up, I just decided, you know what, screw it. I just need a little bit of a trim. And I'm sorry I'm not looking professional today. I'm filming this on a Sunday, so I'm really tired. But I wanted to get this out there. Jesus, this sounds like an update video. Well, welcome back to Let Joe Talk. Today I want to talk about the CW. So I was debating last week, of course, if you watched last week's video on why Crackle sucks, I was debating about should I talk about Crackle or the CW, and I decided to push CW to this week because, as you know, last week the CW came back in full force with 10 new hours of original content to kick off their new television season, and all their shows came back, and literally last week's show, the CW is getting stronger and stronger with their amount of content that they've been having on lately. And I was really surprised at some of the show's performance, critical reviews, and I was really surprised by the results. And I kind of want to talk to you guys about today on why the CW is every year growing in popularity, and why I do believe this is not a video to convince you to get on the CW, but this is a video telling you that the CW could potentially have the opportunity to rise up higher than ever before and possibly even reach the ranks of the big networks. So to start off, the biggest thing I've noticed last week in premiere week, as I'll call it, was Riverdale. Now, if you don't know what Riverdale is pretty much the reimagined version of Archie comics. So if you know of Archie comics, you know Archie, Andrew, Jughead Jones, those characters. They had a show that came out earlier this year called Riverdale, and it was really critically acclaimed. I really enjoyed the show. I was debating if I should do weekly reviews at the time. I was like, you know what, it's not going to be my style. I can't guarantee at that time a weekly basis, so I just ignored that. And so Riverdale actually had a massive boost in ratings. So according to TV by the Numbers, they reported that Riverdale, the season 2 premiere, became the new series high rating in terms of how many live viewers watched it compared to the season 1 premiere. Now, if you know, usually when a show starts, it usually is very high because you got the interest of people like, oh, I'm going to check out the show, I'm going to see how the first hour is, and then, of course, slowly as the season progresses, you start losing people, you start maybe gaining a couple more people back, but then you start losing. It becomes a game, as you can see. So when Riverdale began, they had like a decent around a 1.2 million around that mark. I'm not sure. But then it started going down the 1 million zone, and that was where it was comfortable about. And then now when we came back for season 2, it sort of came back. It came back to over 2 million, which was really impressive. Usually when shows get a big jump in ratings, it's usually because of something. Now, of course, Riverdale came out on Netflix. It had a massive international appeal, and generally more people that were ignoring Riverdale when the show first began are now starting to get on board, and it could be as well as to the Riverdale season 1 finale, the cliffhanger that it left off. So a lot of people wanted to see what was the result of that cliffhanger. I'm not going to spoil it because I really do believe you should check out Riverdale. It's a really great show. So that was the surprising thing about Riverdale, was that, well, the most biggest thing I saw from the CW for that week was that Riverdale, despite, you know, not being as popular as the other CW shows, such as the Arrowverse shows, which I'll get to in a minute, and of course the long-running show Supernatural, it was still able to make a jump back. Now, whether or not it's going to be able to continue that trend in the remaining 21 episodes that they have for the season remains to be unclear, but I'm really hoping that Riverdale can sort of now... This kind of guarantees that Riverdale will be back for season 3, because I was sort of internally debating maybe they aren't going to get a season 3, maybe they will, but hopefully that this season premiere really got the ball rolling, and hopefully Riverdale will be an important part of the CW going forward. Now, of course, as you know, the CW is morally big now. It's DC superhero shows, or mainly the Arrowverse, as I like to call it. And like a lot of, I know there's also the Flareverse, but I prefer calling it the Arrowverse, in which Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, and DC Legends Tomorrow all came back to pretty good reviews. Decent rating, but those were really the main attention grabs, because, you know, the superhero market is so big right now. We're getting a ton of TV shows, a ton of movies. So, of course, anything that comes on TV in terms of superheroes usually get a lot of coverage, usually get a lot of attention. So, of course, the CW has that. So what I want to say about those shows, if you haven't jumped on board there, having sort of like a shared television universe is already difficult enough to have as is, because sometimes you got to have crossovers, and to do a crossover, it means working with multiple production schedules, working with multiple actors availability, and it's really a big hassle. And generally, a lot of people tend to stay away from TV universes because it gets difficult after a while. The more shows you add, the more bigger your crossovers have to get. So when Arrow went to Flash, and then the crossover was more simple because it was just 2 shows. But then when Legends of Tomorrow got added, and then when Supergirl got moved, it became bigger and bigger. So with that, it's just it's amazing to see how the CW has learned over the years, learning how to craft this shared universe, and now they're starting to create more shared universes, with Riverdale getting the Sabrina the Teenage Witch spinoff. Hopefully, it's in the early stage, but it could go on. And Supernatural is getting hopefully another spinoff with Wayward Sisters later. Hopefully, if it gets picked up for next television season. So there's just a lot of CW has learned a lot, and generally, I'm really happy to where the Arrowverse is now, where you don't need just the one big crossover event every November. You can have the little crossovers with just one actor, just to say, yeah, this is all connected, and that's fucking awesome. Going into Supernatural, I'm really surprised because, as I think I mentioned this in an earlier episode, I mentioned how I did binge watch all 12 seasons of Supernatural throughout the past year, and now going into season 13, I was still surprised how it still gets a lot of viewers, like over 2 million viewers in the season 13 premiere. Now, that is fucking crazy. How usually when a show keeps going on and on, the ratings are going lower. However, the loyal fan base is there, so they're still getting more seasons. But Supernatural is really surprising me how it's still popular after now more than 12 years of being on the air. And I'm still really enjoying the story. I might do a video one day about the Supernatural, how the story keeps evolving and keeps being natural instead of like forcing a new problem, forcing something in there that it kind of starts ruining everything. But Supernatural has been doing a great job, and I'm hopefully the spin-off Wayward Sisters will hopefully continue that trend as, Supernatural. I get my end soon, because, going 13 years, you gotta imagine the actors get a little bit tired. A little bit, but not that much. And there's other content that the other shows that they came about this year with Jane the Virgin, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, great critically acclaimed show. I haven't seen them yet. I do want to get into them sometime in the future. And then, of course, they started with 2 new shows, Valor and Dynasty, which I hear did pretty okay-ish for CW standards. So, generally, the main point I'm saying is that the CW is becoming something more, because you can't say every network has a shared universe. You can't say every network has a great variety of content. Now, granted, a lot of networks currently on the air does have variety of content. They have comedy and drama, but with the CW, I think they have the most diverse portfolio of shows. If you're interested in superhero show, you got four of them to watch. 5 debatably with iZombie, 6 next year with Black Lightning, and that means it has another superhero show, and hopefully, and it's being executive produced by Greg Berlanti. And I'm going to make a video about Greg Berlanti someday in the future about how amazing he is as a producer, and how he's the hotshot producer of this era. And if you're interested in drama in terms of going to the Supernatural style, no pun intended, you got Supernatural. And of course, while it is a little bit of a hassle to get into right now, because you do gotta be knowledgeable on the 12 seasons that came before it currently right now, it's still something you're implored to do. And if you're interested in the comedy genre, then you got Jane the Virgin, and then if you want even a musical, that's right, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is a musical show, and that's really also crazy to think that a musical show could exist with new original songs every single week, or every single episode, not every single week, on the air, and that's really amazing to see. And of course, you got some new experimental shows, so if you want to hopefully be there from the ground up, you could always check out the new shows with Valor. That's a military show, and Dynasty, which is I think it's a family drama. I'm not sure. I don't know everything about the CW, but I'm just like, majority of my shows, because I watch a record-breaking 35 live show that are still airing new episodes. These shows aren't over per se, but they don't air episodes weekly, but they're still ongoing. So yeah, I watched 35 of them as of today. And I know what you're saying. I have a problem. But it's my problem, and I'm loving it. So generally, just to say this, least, is that you gotta start noticing, people's gotta start noticing, the CW is growing every year. And by next year, who knows where we're going to be at. I'm guaranteeing the Arrowverse show's going to come back, Supernatural's going to come back, Jane the Virgin should come back, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and Riverdale, and it's just like amazing to see how these shows have been critically acclaimed or at least positively reviewed. Then a lot of shows on the other networks, like you always see like that big change, like one very long running show gets canceled and then the other one, a weird one gets renewed, and it's like really weird how every network is a little bit different from each other. NBC cancels all its DC shows. CBS has the Big Bang Theory, and Fox has Gotham and The Gifted right now, which all are great, but the CW is really pushing the envelope on their content, and it's really amazing. I really do hope someday in the future CW is able to reach CBS numbers, ABC numbers, Fox numbers. I really hope, because you know the content they have is being unnoticed by so many people of this generation, and you should really jump on board the CW. It's really, now I get it, it's kind of cringy teen drama sometimes, or just cringy drama, or predictable drama, but the way they're able to change the format of that really does make it stand out from the rest. And I really hope that you get the CW a try, because you know, you never know where CW is going to be in the next few years. I hope it gets bigger and bigger as every passing year, but you never really. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Let Joe Talk. As always, if you like the video, please like it, please share it with your friends, favorite it. If you want to see more from Let Joe Talk, please subscribe to the channel. And as always, I will see you guys next week, hopefully morally better dressed. I see you guys.